fluctuating cold weather, kids are looking to keep themselves entertained with hot trending fads such as Wii and Xbox Connect. Parents may think these active video games are a good source of physical activity, however, they may need to think again. I'm here with Dr. Wagstaff, who is a research specialist in extra gaming and physical activity in children. Welcome, and thank you for being here.
So glad I could come in today.
Children are being active in comparison to sitting on the couch with a controller in hand. However, it is not a substitute for physical activities such as playing sports, engaging in the outdoors with friends, and neighborhood play. Would this be correct?
Yes, you're right that it is getting today's children more active, but it's by no means a substitute for the 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity they should be getting each and every day. A study was actually done by Pang, Lin, and Krauss that looked at current literature in regards to extra gaming in comparison to traditional physical activity. Energy expenditure, heart rate, and VO2 max were the focus of active video game studies. Pang and colleagues found that energy expenditure while playing these games was equivalent to light to moderate physical activity only.
So light to moderate intensity of physical activity is not enough for children?
Although extra gaming does increase the health measures, active video games do not have the same significant effects that traditional physical activity would.
So you mean it does get our kids active in comparison to sedentary behavior, but it's not enough?
Although they are being active, it's not enough. As research shows, we can't depend on extra gaming alone to meet the recommended intensities of physical activity shown in the activity guidelines.
If moderate to vigorous activity is the goal, are there any games that help children achieve these higher standards of physical activity?
In a study done by Graf, Pratt, Hester, and Short, they found throughout their study that new generation active video games such as Wii Boxing, Bowling, and Dance Dance Revolution were able to elicit similar or higher increases in energy expenditure, heart rate, and perceived exertion than that of moderate intensity walking. There are also other Wii Sports and Fit games that promote this high degree of moderate to vigorous activity.
Very interesting. We now go to Courtney, who is testing out some of the active games we have discussed. Hi Courtney, where are you today?
Hi Barb. Today I'm at the Nintendo convention in Toronto, where new active video games are being tested out and rated on their enjoyment, as well as rating just how active our children are getting while playing these games. Today I'm here with Becky, who is an avid Wii gamer, and she's going to show me the ropes so that I can test out some of these games for myself and see just how active one can be.
Thanks Courtney. I'm going to give you a controller here, put it around your wrist so it can monitor the motions of when we play the game.
Alright, well here we go. Wow, you're good.
So Courtney, what games have you tried at the convention so far?
Well Barb, so far I've tried Wii Boxing, Wii Bowling, as well as Just Dance.
Well, what do you think of them? Were there ones that got you more physically active than others?
Well Barb, when playing Wii Bowling, I definitely felt like it was more of a leisure activity and my energy expenditure was low. In comparison, when playing Wii Boxing and Just Dance, my energy expenditure was much higher, my heart rate was up, I was even sweating a little bit. So this would definitely be a better option for kids if you're trying to get them a bit more physically active. So overall, these active video games are definitely a fun alternative to the more traditional sedentary video games.
Thanks Courtney. It sure does look like you had a great time. So Dr. Wagstaff, reflecting on what Courtney has experienced, there does seem to be some active games that get participants more active than others. Would these lead to more positive health benefits?
Well, again, Pang and colleagues noted that extra gaming which involved upper body movements illustrated significantly smaller effects than those games which involved lower or whole body movements. This leads researchers to believe that active video games that use upper body movements are not the best measures when trying to increase vigorous physical activity. To better promote this physical activity, Game creators should use lower and upper body movements more than the upper body movements. These types of movements help the individual participating come closer to reaching that moderate level of physical activity we want.
Active video games requiring only the upper body do not help children reach their physical activity guidelines. Why is this?
Well, even though these games are to be getting children more active while playing, kids can become lazy while they do it. For example, in Wii Tennis, instead of taking a remote, making a full body arm movement, they've learned how to sit on the couch and just do flick of the wrist to perform the same action. This leads to levels of energy expenditure that are much too low. It's taking them back to traditional gaming where they're sitting on the couch with a controller in their hand. We want to see them use lower and whole body movements because that's already getting them in an upright position. When they're in that position, there is obviously more energy expenditure happening, leading to a higher level of moderate activity that we want to see.
Well, there you have it. While active video games sometimes gets your child off the couch, it is evident that this activity is no substitute for traditional physical activity, which better contributes to our children reaching their 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity each day. Keep this in mind. Active video games may not be getting your child as active after all. Tomorrow, we cover active gaming in older populations. Will findings be similar? Stay tuned.